Meet Rob Nelson, talk show host.
Because you got the 70s thing going there. I got someone's underwear.
Robert Kennedy, thanks for taking a minute. Simple question.
Tucker?
It's good to see you. Listen,
You're a Bitcoin maximalist. You're Bitcoin forever.
I hate this central bank digital currency.
Hey, I don't have all the answers, but together, I know we can find them.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome to Rob Nelson Live. Happy Monday, wherever you are. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. We just had a massive storm. Everything got shut down. Power, internet. The world we live in. I don't even know where to start today. I think I'm going to start with the Grammys, believe it or not. I want to talk about Cuba. I want to talk about Trump, Cuba, MAGA, ice out. That's why I'm going to start with the Grammys. Ice out. So, it's interesting. When you step back just a little bit at what goes on, it's sort of like the Black Lives Matter movement, right? People coalesce around an idea, something that makes them want to be activists. With Black Lives Matter, it was Black people, Rodney, not Rodney King, I was going to say Rodney King, different era. The death of one man in Minneapolis. And by the way, what is it about Minneapolis that all this stuff keeps happening in Minneapolis? Isn't it bizarre? That's where Black Lives Matter started. That's where the ICE stuff is blowing up. What is it about Minneapolis? There's something in the water? Seriously, what is it about Minneapolis? Anyway, so one guy dies, and again, probably shouldn't have died, but at the same time, was the cop who did it a monster? I don't really know, to be honest. I don't think any of us do. I mean, the guy was high as fuck. He was resisting. The guy put his knee on his neck. I mean, not the ideal thing to do, no question. Did he mean to kill him? I doubt it. I mean, think about it. If you're the cop, what benefit's going to come from you killing the guy? You really think it's going to end well for you when you kill him? Unlikely. Unlikely you're going to, come out ahead if you kill the guy. There's going to be an investigation into why, how, what you did. Now, if you shot in a justifiable or non-justifiable shooting, but in this case, you're going to get a lot of scrutiny if the guy dies. So probably maybe you want to hurt him. Maybe you want to F him up because you're mad, but you probably don't want to kill him. But either way, that led to a nationwide series of protests, which I was covering, at the time. Thousands of people, forget the hypocrisy around COVID, because remember, COVID was on our heads and you couldn't go anywhere, do anything, talk to anyone, needed to be 1,000 feet away and wear a mask. And suddenly, if you were going to go out and protest, it was all good. I remember being in protests in LA with my little phone camera, and there are hundreds of people on my head, all wearing cloth masks. I'm like, how is this not going to spread COVID? How is this not going to create a massive spread of COVID? Now, to be clear, I don't think most young people or younger people, most of whom are protesting, healthy enough to do it, are going to get COVID and have any harm come to them. Basically no kids died of COVID. If we're going to be honest, I think 300 total, which is way, way less than the flu. So I didn't actually think the COVID restrictions were real or valid. But suddenly, how did they go away? In the most obvious example I got pushed off a beach in California by myself because of COVID restrictions. But you could be in a rally with thousands of people on your head, spitting, yelling, screaming, and somehow that wasn't going to spread COVID. Somehow that was okay. It's the politics of insanity. And it was the politics of COVID. It was the politics of insanity. It doesn't have to make sense. It's Alice in Wonderland. It's upside down land. It's just do what we tell you to do, regardless if it makes any sense. Sit in a restaurant. At the table, you can take your mask off, where you're going to talk to other people, friends, non-friends, whoever's at your table. You're going to talk and blow your air and your spit on them. But should you get up and walk to the bathroom, well, you will most likely be talking to no one. You must put your mask on, because walking by the other people with their backs to you at their tables, they could get COVID. Made no sense. None of it ever made any sense. 0 cents. Yet we did it. We did it, and we doubled down on it. Back to the protests. What did the protests accomplish? Seriously, what did they accomplish? And I apologize. I think I'm still having tech issues from the storm. If my feed is a little slow, nothing I can do right now. I'm just going to have to let it be slow. What did we actually accomplish? Although I guess I could try to reload and see if that works. If I don't want to lose it. Hold on. Stay with me. Stay with me and see if this will work. No, I'm better off to leave it alone. What did it actually accomplish? Almost nothing. No real changes were made. Everybody virtue signaled. People put black squares on their Instagram. People screamed, yelled, shouted. The BLM organizations took a ton of money, a lot of which was used corruptly. I don't think you can show me one systemic change that Black Lives Matter did. The NBA put, it all over the courts. The NFL, everybody stepped in line, companies. Somebody tell me one significant change that happened. Show me one community that got better. I mean, we had a massive defund the police campaign across the country. That didn't really help. Crime went up. Crime went up in Black neighborhoods. I worked in Black inner city neighborhoods for years. Show me one community that got better because of Black Lives Matter. Who got better was all the white liberals patting themselves on the back, and the Black liberals patting themselves on the back for virtue signaling. Nobody took risks. All you people were protesting and wearing, stickers and putting little boxes on your Instagram. Did any of you take a real risk? A tiny 0.0001% took an actual risk. No. And that's the same problem I have with the ICE stuff. I don't think what happened in Minneapolis that started BLM was okay. But I also can understand how it might have happened. I think what's happening with ICE is not okay. And I've said for a long time, I was, sounding the friggin' alarms on immigration years ago. Too expensive, too costly, too damaging, too many downsides, drawing resources away from local communities. I was in California at the time. Not a good thing. And I'd said, it's going to lead to a backlash. And it eventually did. I'm talking years ago. It's going to lead to a massive backlash. It did. That's why we got Donald Trump and round 2 and version 2, Trump 2.0. And finally, they shut the border down. Biden's side, they opened the border up. Let's not pretend. They didn't do anything accidental. They literally opened the border up. Come on in, come on in. People even said, we're coming in. We basically got an invitation. We get credit cards when we get there. We get housing. We get everything. Why they did it? Well, I don't think it was because they care so much about all these people. And everybody, by the way, was suddenly like in a humanitarian crisis. Like it wasn't a box to check. I just want to live the American dream because it's better than the El Salvadorian dream. It's like, no, I'm worried for my life. Okay. True again for about 0.02% of the people. They did it, I think, to be honest. I think they did it for votes. It sounds crazy. I never bought that at first. I was like, they can't be doing this for votes. And I'm like, I think they were. I think they thought if they let enough people in and said they could all vote eventually or pretty soon, they'd have a whole new base of Democratic voters, millions more. Sounds reasonable now that I think about it. But I don't know why else they did it. Like, why else? They didn't actually do it because they cared. Let's not stop for 1 second and think they cared. They didn't care. Caring is not something that really comes into play for the most part at the highest levels of national government. Self-interest does. Power does. Caring for the people? Not so much. But in any case, I'm glad they shut the border down, which they did pretty effectively. Shows you it could be done. So now I got the problem with all the people they let in. And I think Trump was right in saying, you know what? It's not okay. And by the way, you let a whole lot of people we don't even know who they are in. And yes, although he loves to go on the criminals, rapists, murderers thing, yes, you let a lot of bad people in. You let a lot of gang members in. You let a lot of, you let a lot of criminals in. You let a lot of people who have a bad agenda. You let a lot of people in who are like, I can take advantage of this environment to commit more crimes. And it's not crazy when you see the crimes of, committed by illegal immigrants, whether they're rape, murder, robbery, drug driving, and far from me to pretend that most of the people who came in were criminals. They weren't. But a sizable number were, and a sizable number just unvetted. We just have no idea who they were. That's on Biden. Trump was right to say we're going to clean that up. We're going after the criminals. We're going to sweep the streets, and we're going to get all these bad guys and women off the streets. Mostly guys, by the way, but we're going to get them all. Totally legit. And resistance from sanctuary cities and states and unacceptable. But Trump went too far. Suddenly, ICE became a bunch of, I'm not saying they're the Gestapo, and I understand they didn't want to be doxxed, so they wear masks, but it reminded me of the BLM people all running around with the masks. Like, no, like you're all a bunch of masked people, running around scooping people up. And they did start scooping people up who were not the most dangerous of the dangerous. They were scooping people up who were just here illegally. Now, yes, you can argue, and I'm sick of the argument, anyone who's here illegally is here illegally. Therefore, they've committed a crime. Yes, fact. Weigh that against the cost and the damage of addressing that crime. They are here illegally, therefore they committed a crime. Therefore, by the way, it's a civil misdemeanor. It's not it's a civil offense to be here illegally, but it's still illegal. But that doesn't justify the use of massive force to get them all out. If you're a bad element and you're here, we want you out. I think most of the American public, except for the far left, could agree to that. We want you out. You do no good. You serve no purpose. I would argue secondarily, if you're someone who came in more recently, even if you're not a bad element, you're next in line to go. But they started going after people who've been living here, like scooping people up, just found out, oh, your illegal status. And I'm firmly clear. And I don't think I'm unique in this. And I think most of the American public, again, now except for the far right, would say, if you've been living here, living in this country, paying your taxes, building family, working, contributing for the last 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 years, I'm sorry, yes, you broke a law, but now you're part of our country. You're the fabric of your community. We don't uproot you and take you out. It doesn't work. And just from a common sense point of view, how do you think the neighbors are going to react? Well, he broke the law coming in here. And they're like, yeah, and their family's friends with our kids, and we do stuff together, and they're part of our community, and they do stuff with the PTA and the school thing and this and that. No, you don't just scoop them up and take them out. Sorry, no. It's just a dumb political idea. I think Trump's realizing it's a dumb political idea. Thus the backtrack, which is not a backtrack, of getting Greg Bovina, the Border Patrol guy, out and putting Tom Holman in. I mean, not out in terms of firing, but into Minneapolis. And Trump now saying, and this is where I'm going with this before I get to the Grammys, he's, quote, I love how he does everything on Truth Social. Truth Social is like, it's like the president's official tell America what he's doing page. Seriously, you want to know what the president's doing? He puts it on Truth Social. It's almost like a notice, like if you live in an apartment building, it's like the homeowners association. You get an announcement from the leasing office. We're informing you all. I've instructed Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem that under no circumstances are we going to participate in various, here it goes, like the 5-year-old, poorly run Democratic cities with regard to their protests and or riots, unless and until they ask us for help. Posted that on Saturday. And then he made clear the federal government will guard and very powerfully so, any and all federal buildings that are being attacked by these highly paid lunatics, agitators, and insurrectionists. Can't make this stuff up. Please be aware that I've instructed ICE and or Border Patrol to be very forceful in the protection of federal government property. There will be no spitting in the faces of our officers. There will be no punching or kicking the headlights of our cars, and there will be no rock or brick throwing at our vehicles or at our Patriot warriors. If there is, those people will suffer an equal or more consequence. So Donald Trump. Anyway, main takeaway there is not we're going to protect federal buildings and our officers. That's understood. It is, we're not going to just say, no more Trump going, we're going into Chicago next. We're going into here next. He's like, if you don't ask us, we're staying away. That is totally a way to get out of this situation. Before he was like, we're in DC. Now we're going to Minneapolis. We'll be in Chicago next. Maybe it's, Houston's on the line. Well, Houston's not really a blue city, but, LA's next. We're coming there. He's now like, only if you ask us. And then he says, this is the best part. Governors and mayors should use the word please in all caps if they decide to request federal assistance. If you ask me nicely, say please, pretty please, then we'll send in people. They ain't going to be asking, by the way. They ain't going to be asking nicely. They ain't going to be asking not nicely. They don't want him to send in people. He just got an out, which I understand, because things got out of control. And I don't care what anybody tells you or tells me. Neither one of these two people should have died in the last couple of weeks. Absolutely not. I don't care. The guy had a gun on him. Yes, he had a carry permit. He was allowed to have a gun on him. He didn't draw the gun. He had it on him. Is it smart to wear a gun into a volatile situation? No, but that's his constitutional right. That's what the Democrats have been saying. You can't wear a gun into a protest, but Republicans are like, sure you can. You're allowed to. You have a carry permit. He had the right to have that gun on him. And he didn't pull that gun on him. Did he kick in a headlight a couple days earlier? Sure. Did he yell at them? Probably. Did he resist them grabbing him? Almost certainly. There were 6 Border Patrol agents on top of that guy. And one of them saw a gun in his waistband, said gun, pulled the gun out, and then another one shot him. Not okay. Not good policing. You guys aren't trained right. Sorry. And then the other guy shot him. Now he's lying on the ground, face up, and shot like from both sides. And the guy walks up and shoots him 5 more fucking times, which I don't care how mega insane you think Trump is Jesus is. They shot a guy who'd been shot twice on the ground, who was at this point unarmed. The guy comes up and shoots him 5 more times point blank. It's like out of a movie where you're determined to kill the guy who's fucked your whole life up. And you're like, you know what? Boom, 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 boom. And he's on the ground. And you're like, okay, you know what? One more? Let me just point at your head and go boom, 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 boom. It's rage shooting. It is rage shooting. Pure and simple. That guy should get prosecuted. There's no way you could think he was a threat. Lying on the ground, having been shot by you and the other guy, no weapon on him, 6 of you surrounding him, and you feel the need to step forward and shoot him 5 more times? He's already been shot 4 times at point blank range. You got to shoot him 5 more. Why? To make sure he's dead and double dead? Because I don't think the goal is to kill him. The goal is to subdue him, remove the threat if he had a weapon, was going to use it. He did have a weapon. He clearly wasn't using it. He didn't pull it. They took it off of him. He didn't have it in his hand. They pulled it out of his waistband. And then they shot him twice, shot him 2 more times, and then the guy comes back and shoots him 5 more times. That is criminal, and I understand the reaction. That said, the virtue signaling protests do nothing for me. And that's really where this comes down to. So now the country's outraged. We've got virtue signaling protests, and you got all the, and this brings me back to the Grammys. You got all these celebrities doing what they did with BLM, wearing ice out pins and making statements when they get their awards. Bill Maher's right about this. Like, we don't give a fuck what you celebrities think. You don't live in real world. You live in Hollywood land. You know, what's her name? The Wildflower singer said, what's her name? I can't think of her name. You all know who she is. She had an ice out pin She said, I feel really hopeful in this room, and I feel like we need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting. Our voices do matter, and the people matter. And fuck ICE. That's all I'm going to say. Sorry. Well, first of all, you're not sorry. So don't say fuck ICE. I'm sorry. No, because you're not sorry. So sorry, but not sorry. Secondly, we need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting, because that's really making a difference, right? And are you fighting? I'm sorry, you're accepting a Grammy Award. Are you on the streets? Or maybe you show up for a symbolic protest here or there. Probably not even that. Are you truly fighting? Our voices really matter and the people matter. Yes, the people matter. All the people matter. Where is the matter for the people who've been mattering the whole time when nobody? Oh, we are getting a bad feed. We're going to finish this with a good feed. Hold on. If that helps. And I'm back, hopefully faster this time. Tech issues, the storm. Again, where is the fighting for the people that have mattered the whole time? Where is the actual putting your life on the line, putting really what matters out there versus virtue signal protesting, the boxes, the squares from Black Lives Matter, the ice out buttons from celebrities in Hollywood. So here's my favorite one. Well, there's a couple. Olivia Dean, who won the new Best Artist for The Man I Need. She said, I'm here as a granddaughter of an immigrant. I wouldn't be here. I'm a product of bravery, and I think those people need to be celebrated. So yeah, we're nothing without each other. Okay, again, a stupid statement. You're the granddaughter of an immigrant. Okay, so your grandparent came here, probably legally, and you're a granddaughter of an immigrant. Nobody thinks we don't need immigrants. We're talking about whether people should come here illegally in mass. Again, I'm saying if you've been here, you're here long enough. When you let 1 million people or 2 million a year come in, you've got a problem. And then she said, I'm going to say ice out. Oh, no, sorry. This is funny. Before I say thanks to God, I'm going to say ice out. All right, first, you should thank God first if you're religious, right? Before I give praise to God for all my touchdowns, I'm going to say, fuck the other team. We're not savages, he said. We're not animals. We're not aliens. We are humans and we are Americans. Okay, first of all, this is a true statement. But if you're illegally here, you're technically not an American. And yes, I agree. Shouldn't be treating people like savages, animals. And I hate the word alien. I hate the way it is. The aliens who have come in, just call them illegal immigrants. Just call them people from other countries who are here illegally. You don't need to call them aliens. It's just such an unnecessary. It's like calling people the N-word back in the day. You just don't need to do it. And I hate that they all do. Tom Holman, we have more aliens in this country. Just call them people who are here illegally, okay? Do give the respect that they are humans and deserve to be treated as humans who happen to have done something that's criminal and are here illegally. I gotta go, and I'm sorry, the Wildflower, I can't think who the singer is. But the reason I'm stuck on it is because she owns a massive property, $1 million property in Los Angeles. And when she said, actually, no, I know who it is. It's what's her name? It's Billie Eilish. No one is illegal on stolen land. I've heard this line before. No one is illegal on stolen land, meaning you can't be illegally here because we stole the land in the first place. Okay, first of all, that's, again, a really stupid sentiment. Why celebrities should keep their mouths shut, because technically pretty much everybody stole everything from everybody else. And if we stole it, we should give it back. So while it might be true you can't be illegal on stolen land, you, Billie Eilish, are living on stolen land. So your expense in LA should be immediately donated to the Native American, because you are living on stolen land. You just said it. It's not just that you can't be here illegally on stolen land. You shouldn't be here at all on stolen land. It's stolen land. You're on it. So sell your property. Give it back. Donate the property. This is the hypocrisy of all of it. These people say these things and they do nothing that actually costs them. If this is stolen land, we should all be giving everything back. It's not just that anyone should be able to come here because you can't be illegal on stolen land. It's that we shouldn't be on stolen land. That would be a crime. So we should give all the land back. We going to do that, Billy? You're going to give up your house? You're going to give up everything? You're going to stop. The Grammys are on stolen land. The whole entire fucking thing is on stolen land. You're going to give it all up? Of course you're not. This is the utter hypocrisy and the stupidity, and why Bill Maher's right. Celebrities should keep their mouths shut, do what they do best, which is valuable. Entertain us. Take our minds, use your art and craft to take our minds off of things and perhaps to direct our minds toward things we should think about. Don't use your self-serving award ceremonies where you pat yourselves all on the back in expensive clothes with thousands and thousands of dollars thrown at you that all should be donated to the Native Americans because it's all on stolen land, or maybe just give it to people who are homeless or hungry. Give it all. How about we come to the Grammys and we do a bare minimum? We eat pizza and just do whatever. And we take the hundreds of thousands of dollars we're going to spend on the event and shove it over and give it to people in LA who are starving and hungry and homeless or living under the poverty line. How about that? Not going to happen. It's virtue signaling. And the sad part is it doesn't even work. It only, as Bill Maher said, you are accomplishing something with your activism. You're getting independents to become Republicans. We live in insane politics, the politics of insanity. We're in it. We're surrounded by it. And it goes both ways. Like I said, you know, the ICE stuff is both. What they're doing with ICE is not good. No good. It's not acceptable. It's not working. It's not acceptable. I'm not for it. And it will cost Republicans to probably have a massive loss in the midterms. And if that happens, if they lose both houses of Congress, Trump will get impeached in a year and a half by a Democratic Congress, House of Representatives. And if there's a Democratic Senate, they will convict him. And Trump will literally get removed from office. And that will add to the politics of the absurd and insanity. I'm Rob Nelson. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the glitches.
Meet Rob Nelson, talk show host.
Because you got the 70s thing going there. I got someone's underwear.
Robert Kennedy, thanks for taking a minute. Simple question.
Tucker,
It's good to see you. Listen,
you're a Bitcoin maximalist. You're Bitcoin forever.
I hate this central bank digital currency.
Hey, I don't have all the answers, but together, I know we can find